What's going on, man? It's the OG Chris Murray, and this show right here, just to chop it up with you new guys that's in the blueprint about what we got in store for y'all come Man 22. I got my co-host, the Bus in the building, man, to sit here, man, bring lead information and break it down to see, the things that we got in store for you guys come Man 22. And hopefully, man, you guys can, drop a comment, give y'all input on some new ideas that we have, and, just keep the lead moving in the, right direction. So what's going on, Bus? How you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good, man. Just excited for the M22 to drop. They got a lot of new. If y'all haven't played the beta, I mean, let's just dive into that real quick. If y'all haven't played the beta, I think you guys gonna be real excited about the new features that they've put in. The Madden community has been asking for this stuff for a long time. We all felt like we was a stepchild, and the other parts of Madden were getting all the attention. But I think you guys gonna like this, man. Some of it's kind of old because it was in NCAA, but to bring it over here and kind of I guess revamp it a little bit. I think you guys gonna like it, man. So I'm just ready to get for the Madden to drop, get into the blueprint, get it popping, man.
Yeah, and I actually didn't have the chance, to really dive into the beta that much, but for the things that I did see, like the franchise mode, it got me excited, and I'm gonna say that EA has the hook back in me. So we ain't gonna hold y'all guys up. We gonna dive into a couple topics that we're bringing to the league. Give y'all some information on how the draft process is going to work, because I know a lot of guys have been asking questions. So we felt like this would be the easiest way how to get the information out to y'all. All right, so Madden 22. All right, the draft process. How it's going to work is each user name is going to be put on a list. Okay. We're trying to get as close as to 32 as possible, but once we reach, I say 25, 26 users, each user will be put on the list. In random order. It's not going to be no specific order for the users on the list. What's going to happen is once that list is done, I'm going to place it inside of a randomization chart, where so it's going to spit it out however it decides to spit it out, and that's going to determine your draft pick. Okay, so for example, let's say, all right, the Bus is on the list first, I'm second, Ralph Matic is third, Under is fourth, and Gab is five. That'll be a list from 1 to 5. Okay. Once I put it inside the randomization chart, it's going to spit it back to me in whatever order it decides, and that will determine the draft slot. So, for example, like I said, Bus was the first name on the list, and let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that the randomization chart spits some back at slot 3 or slot 4. That will be his draft pick for the Madden 22 team draft. All right, so that's the first step. All right, that's how you will get your pick for the Madden 22 Blueprint team draft. The next step will be the list that you guys have been requested to send in from teams 1 to 16, 18. You can make your list as long as you want it to make it. You just got to get me a list as soon as possible. All right. So once your pick is up, all right, I will put your team list inside of the randomization chart, and then that will spit out the team that you will be taking over for Madden 22. Okay? So once again, the second step is once I get your list and I get to your pick, I will put each team in the same exact order that you gave it to me inside of that chart, and it will spit it back out to me with whatever team coming at number 1, meaning that will be the team that you will be playing with Madden 22. Now, if it spits out a team that has already been taken, I will go to the next team on the list. If that team has been taken, I will go to the next team on the list. And what this does is it does two things, okay? One is kind of like a blind bid type thing, whereas though it keeps it as balanced as possible, because you might have some users who are better as far as stick skills than others. So you might have a guy that might have the Kansas City Chiefs, who we already know probably the top two teams in Madden 22 is going to be either the Chiefs or the Bucks. Okay, so you might have a guy that isn't that well on the sticks who might land the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you might have a guy who's great on the sticks who might get the New York Jets. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword because it's not. I know already it's not going to please everyone in the league, but we're trying to make it as balanced as possible. But also too, it keeps guys from running from other guys. So you might have a guy who want to get into an easy division. You know, just line up his apples and oranges so he can get an easy ride to the playoffs every year. This eliminates that. So, what's your thoughts from the process, man? You know, we guys that's listening, we're more than open for new ideas, new suggestions. We're just trying to get some type of foundation, new structure out there, so that way we can get things going in the right direction. But Bus, what's your thoughts on the draft process?
Yeah, I was trying to see where you was going with it, and I actually like it. So you basically, you know, you get the order of the owners in the team, and you randomize them to see where they're going to pick. Now, most people probably think, "Oh, I'm first. I get to get the team that I want." Well, this is where we throw a little wrinkle in the draft process where we make it a lot more interesting. You know what I'm saying? So then, now I see why you were requesting the 16 teams, because it makes the randomizer a lot better as far as like you being able to get a team. It may not be the team you want, but yeah, I like it. Now, the only thing that I will change, that I would probably suggest changing, is the admins. We go last. We just where we fall, or you can randomize the admin. So after all the other teams are filled, that's when we come in. I don't really, as an admin, I don't really care what team I play with. We all are just here to give you guys a successful league, and we don't want you guys thinking, "Oh, well, they the admins, they gonna get the best team." Nah, it ain't gonna be like that. We're not gonna be like every other league where the admins get to pick first. Nah, it ain't about that. So yeah, I like the draft setup.
So once again, guys, man, you know, like the Bus said, to try to piggyback off of that. For example, let's say, me as one of the admin members, if I get like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm willing to knock them. I'm not even want to put any team that has a top 10 or top 15 overall Madden 20 team overall Madden 22, because like we're willing, like we want guys to feel like they're entering the league with a chance to compete. You know, and sometimes that gets a little bit lost in the mess because, you know, some dudes wants to play with certain teams, certain players, you know. So we're just here, like the Bus said, to provide a successful league to keep guys locked in and engaged for as many seasons as possible to the next man drops. All right, so if you got any questions as far as the draft process and you feel like we didn't cover a certain area, just hit our DM, let us know, or drop a comment in the comment section. But moving on, let's talk about content. Because one of the things that have kept the DML successful for multiple seasons, going on our 7th cycle, man, 7th. That's something good to, you know, be bragging about, because some of these Madden leagues through the pandemic have died off, through some of the, you know, the not say BS, but EA not holding up their end of the bargain has died off, and the DML has managed to, you know, stick it out through some tough times. So one of the things that I feel like have kept the DML going in the right direction is content. So the Bus, me, a couple of admin guys that's working behind the scenes, just felt like we need to bring some form of content to the blueprint. And once again, if you're a content guy and you listening, listen, hit us up. Let us know what you can do, because the more the merrier, man. We don't want to have to put everything, you know, on our shoulders. So if you're a guy, man, you're a content guy, you got to work Photoshop, After Effects, man, hit me in the Bus up and let us know what you can do. We could probably get sit down and chop it up and figure out what you can add to the league. But as far as content, we got one show coming to the blueprint. It's going to be called The Recap. All right? The Recap will cover from weeks 1 to 4, and then from weeks from week 4. My fault. I'm sorry. From week 4 to 9, and then what we said, Bus, from 9 to no, my fault. We said from 1 to 8, and then 8 to 16. Correct?
Yeah, right. Okay. So that gives us 2 shows.
All right. So we're gonna have 2 shows per season, recapping the first 7 weeks of the season, and then the last 7 weeks of the season. Correct?
Yep.
All right, and that will be consisted of multiple different things: top users in the league, top teams in the league, teams that are players that are balling out and clicking on all cylinders. We talk about some of the bottom feeders, because sometimes we got to show some of the bottom feeders some love too. We going to talk about playoff push, Super Bowl, early Super Bowl predictions, league MVPs. There's going to be multiple things that we're going to cover on the recap. And once again, if you are a content guy, or if you just a guy that want to star as co-host, or you want to visit the show, please do not be shy. Hit our DM up and let us know what's going on. All right, so what's your thoughts, Bus, on the recap, man, as far as the show coming to the blueprint?
Man, I think the recap is going to be good. I mean, it's going to give everybody a rundown of what's going on in the blueprint from weeks 1 to 8. And then the second half of the season, where we talk about, who could potentially be making the playoffs, who could be on the hot seat. It's just gives you room to talk about so much in the league, man. And I'm sure, I don't know about y'all, man, but I know when I'm balling, man, I don't mind hearing my name on a show here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna give you guys some excitement, man, and that's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? So y'all get ready, man. It's gonna be a good league, man.
So the next thing that we're bringing to y'all is we're gonna have from the same exact weeks from weeks 8 and week 16. There will be 2 announcements. Top user in the league, AFC, NFC, and it's gonna be the announcement of the top 4 players. So we're gonna have 2 offensive players from the AFC, 2 offensive players from the NFC, and then 2 defensive players from both conferences. Okay. How you get that reward? It varies. You can, record plays are, of course, an important part in that. Of course, your team stats, such as defensive stats, offensive stats, and that right there is going to add some juice and some fire to the league. Because we all know, what man league you have been in, don't nobody likes hearing the same guy mentioned over and over and over again. So what this does is, man, this has everybody gunning for that top guy's head. So, let's want to set some fire, under some guys behind, as far as creating some rivalries, creating, some not bad league tension, but good league tension, and it keeps, like I said, the juice is flowing for an entire cycle. That's one of our objectives, of keeping the league going in the right direction for a complete entire cycle. So, what's your thoughts on that, Bus?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be good. Every league likes competition, but let's keep it real as well. In every league you're gonna have some studs, and then you're gonna have some duds.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So, and we ain't gonna hold nothing back, man. We're gonna talk about the good people, and we're gonna talk about the bad people, man. So hopefully us talking about you as far as being a dud, maybe the next season you come out and you ball out. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody's stick skills are different. So, when the game first comes out, everybody's probably gonna be, maybe on the same level. But as the weeks go on and people start really filling out the league and filling out Madden, that's where the separation gonna come. So just make sure you still in the loop. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
And just make sure, guys, that you understand that you have we've been over 9 seasons, I believe. What is it? 9 seasons? Somewhere in that ballpark. You got 9 seasons to. If you can't get it right the first season, you got 8 other seasons to try to compete. But we just trying to make it, like I said, as fun as possible. And the last thing we're going to cover, which I feel like plays a major part in keeping the league going, is the rules. Okay. the structure that we're putting in place, like I mentioned, we're trying to mirror and be as close as to the DML as possible. And with that being said, rules play a major part. If you have any, I mean, any questions on anything in the league rule book, do not hesitate to reach out. Okay, those rules were put into place, even though it may seem like it's a lot. Those rules were put into place to once again keep the playing field as level as possible, and just keep that garbage stuff out, man.
Yeah.
It makes you have to think, and I feel like with the things that I have seen in the beta, with the structure that we have set up as far as the rules, I think we could get a good 9 seasons in. But once again, if you guys feel like, if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to hit our DM, or don't feel free to drop a comment. Because everybody's not going to agree on everything, but we're just trying to get it as close as possible to as good as we can make it. But it's only going to be as good as
the owners,
owners, as the users. So we all got to be on the same page, and we just want everybody to feel like you got a voice. So what's your thoughts on the rules, Bucks? We've been doing it for what now? We've been grinding it out for like
boy,
long time. I done lost count. Now I done lost
long time, man. But I mean, I guess the positive thing is, like, we as a league and as a community, like, we love what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we don't like all the MUT stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's a separate feature on the game. It's MUT, CFM, and then offline or whatever. But I've always felt like MUT doesn't mix with CFM. It's like oil and water. You know what I'm saying? People who play CFM want to play like NFL style, football team. So you try to get the rules in place to try to, like you said, to try to eliminate the bull crap and keep the game as fair as possible. Now, the rules that we have already in the Discord, I've been updating those and going through those as I see. We will have some more rules to be added. It's just we got to figure out, what the game is going to give us when it comes out. You know what I'm saying? Now, Murray, one thing that one of the guys, I think his name is FHHS.
I think that was that the guy that mentioned about the franchise tag trading.
Yes. So, we've always had a rule saying we couldn't trade franchise tag players. Now, I don't know if DML is gonna accept this rule change, but I think we can get it changed over there. But I'm gonna say this: I think for Blueprint, I think it's something that we're gonna definitely look into, because this is what he said, and it made a lot of sense. And it happens in it happens in the real NFL. So he was saying we should be able to trade franchise tag guys. However, if you trade for him, you have to give him a long-term deal.
I like that.
So it's not, and I said, and when he said that, my rebuttal was, well, we don't want a whole bunch of franchise tag guys getting traded with no deals. That's why he said, well, once they're traded, they have to get a long-term deal. That makes a lot of sense. So, and we also tested this, Murray. So what we was trying to figure out was, okay, well, and guys gonna try to find loopholes. So we took a guy that was like 75 overall or 70 overall, right? So we was like, well, what if you tag him? My mind was, dang, what if you tag him and then the next year he wants a cheap contract because his overall? Well, what we figured out was, once you tag him, he's gonna get paid top dollars for in his position. When it comes around for him to re-sign, if you're thinking he's gonna want a low contract, you're wrong. He's gonna want those big bucks like the 85 overall and 90 overall guys. So that comes into play, which is big. Because now you got to be like, dang, do I want to tag him? Do I really want to trade for this guy and have to pay him all this money when he's only this overall? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just throwing that out there because that's something that we're going to look at, and it could possibly be changed. And you know, we're not a democracy where, did I say that right? No, you know, but we're not a league where one person, not a dictatorship. This is not a dictatorship league where one person says something and it goes. Man, we want to listen to all y'all's ideas and then put them into play, bounce them off of each other to see like, hey, yeah, let's go this route, or nah, this might not be a good idea. So it's all to make the league better, man.
And like Bus just said, man, it's majority of this stuff that you got. It's going to be trial and error for one, and everyone is not going to be able to get pleased. But the whole thing is to get it as close as possible. I'm the type of guy, man, and I live off of this in my real life. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it don't, then it don't. It's just that simple. You know, if you guys have a suggestion and we put it in the play, like Bus said, it didn't make sense to make the overall league better, we all for it. But if we're not here to try to figure out how to please 3, 4, or 5 guys, you know, we want majority of the guys here enjoy coming in the chat, chopping it up, enjoy picking up the sticks and playing every week, enjoy listening to content, enjoy this overall enjoying the league. So if you got any suggestion, that's once again, if you have any suggestion on something that you feel like can be tweaked or added in or even removed, state your claim. And if it makes sense, you know, we will bring it to the table, and then, you know, if it requires a lead vote, we can do a lead vote. But if it's something that just requires the admin and handling, we'll do it. But we wanted to get this show out to y'all, man, just to get some information out on what's coming for Madden 22. Be definitely looking out for more shows with more information. I'm the host, OG Chris Murray. Bus, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Chopping it up. We out.